Hey everybody, I am back from GenCon, back home. And boy, what a week it was, with all the troubles and headaches with internet and everything else that we could have had go wrong. We got through it and it was just so good. Uh, uh, no matter how tough it was, we managed to figure a way to get content, and I think we really gave you some of the best content we ever did from a con. We tried our hardest. I hope you guys enjoy it. And this is the big finale where I just kind of say thank you to a bunch of people and things like that. And I have a bunch of things to say too about Gen Con. This Gen Con was unlike any other for me. Like Origins, I was there by myself, and it, not many people know who I am and things like that, and that's fine and dandy. But I decided to try to reach out to some of the people that I really admire: Rodney Smith, Rolling Dice Taking Names, Secret Cabal, with Jamie and Tony, and Lance from the Undead Viking, who I've been appearing on Alaboom. All the wonderful, fantastic team at Board Game Geek, which was amazing getting to sit down and talk with Lincoln for almost an hour and a half and chew his ear off, because I don't shut up. But and then to meet and get to know a little bit his wonderful, beautiful wife, Nikki, who is just a tremendous talent. Aldi, Keith Collins, and all the people that go in to give you the very best content that you can ever imagine. Getting to spend time with Chaz Mahler, the guy talking with Man vs. Meeple. Lance, my boy. The only difference between me and Lance is the beard. I can't grow it, and I'm a lot older than you, Lance. But you and I are almost similar creatures in a way. And seeing his beautiful, beautiful daughter, who he spent time, and how much passion he has for her. I admire a man that puts his family at first, along with everybody else that does. I mean, it's just it's a beautiful thing to see. I learned a lot about myself, our channel, and the people around me in this business. There's a lot of good out there, and I just don't think people see it as much as they should. I also want to say that it was a pleasure to see Joel and Chaz, and I hope I got everybody that I talked about, because these were all very important people for me to get to know. And it started on Wednesday by going out to dinner with Rodney and Marty and Tony, and we had a really good time. I got to listen and hear about their lives, and they got to learn who I was a little bit. And how important it was for me to try to make friends. It's something I really don't have a lot of. And these were people that I admired and I wanted to get to know. And, going out to dinner with them, and then meeting up with Jamie the day before Gen Con went off, and we were both walking around with nothing to do, waiting for our parties to show up, and just sitting there and talking for almost an hour and a half, and another hour and a half where we just talked and got to know each other, and really discovered how much we had in common as well, and it just left quite an impression on me. And then at night, being able to be with going to the BGG Hot Games Room, which is fantastic, by the way. If you don't do it next year, shame on you. But being able to sit and watch these guys and spend time with these guys, and finally catching up with Joel Eddy and being able to talk to him a little bit, going to the Rolling Dice and Taking Names party, and just really having a great time, laughing with Chaz. Chaz and I really crack each other up, and we got to talk 2 years ago, and we always kind of pass each other. One's going one way, one's going the other way. And we looked at each other this year and we said, something, we're going to spend some time together, and we did. And it was well worth it. Everybody was so nice to Tina and I, and it's something I will never forget. I mean, these are great, great men and women, and to see them on screen and say, wow, they're just tremendous. I wonder if they're that way in real life. And They really are. They're beautiful people, inside and outside, and they feel it. And we're all held together by something so simple, cardboard and plastic. That is the connection between all of us. And then from there, how you come together. Now some people say, it's cliquey, this, that, and the other. It's not. If you look at it, you just see how they genuinely care about each other, and everybody spends time together because they really do. They're important to each other, and I admired that, and it's something that I wanted in my life, you know, and just to be able to see it, and I learned a lot, that not only are we brought together by games and cardboard and plastic and dice, but there's something more. There's something more important there that bonds us all together. And I saw it. And I saw it when they went in those rooms and they would sit down together and play games, or I would go over and spend time with them, and people would come up. Whether it was somebody like Rodney, who 20 people would come up, he does something special that they all do. And we all do. It's you move and touch people. You make a difference in people's lives. You change people's lives by just cardboard and plastic. How simple a thing. You bring happiness to those that maybe just don't have it for a particular time, or having a tough time in their lives. And how many times I've heard that while I was going through the convention for people, the few people that came to me, and I can't say enough for the people that came up and introduced themselves and shook my hand and thanked me so much for the work that I did. For me, it was just, it was mind-blowing. And of course, Tina would just sit there and give me a weird look like, what do you guys give a crap about him? I know him. He's just Rob. That's Tina for you. The thing is that whether there were 20 people going and talking and to Rodney and saying how much he moves them, or maybe the 2 people that would come to me and feel that way, it didn't matter the amount. It didn't matter whether it was 20 for this guy or that guy or this guy. The one thing I realized is that together collectively, all of us, and it was said by a very wise man in that group, that there's enough room for all of us. And that together, what we can do to move and bring peace, love, and all these wonderful things through cardboard. Simple cardboard. A game. Dice. Throwing dice. And just sitting there and interacting. And how we move people behind these cameras. In front of these lenses, we talk, and we talk about the things that they have the same thing in common, and how our opinions or how we show you how to play a game, or things we paint, how we color our worlds, and how we just express ourselves means so much to so many. And I saw that, and I thought, rolling solo, Adam, I didn't want to forget you. When we sat down and we played a game, we didn't like the game, but we still laughed. We still laughed and had a good time. It was a particular game we played we just didn't care for. And we laughed about it, the 3 of us. And we sat there and we laughed. We got to know each other. And it was something that we shared, and that we'll always share, and it will always be so important to us and means something to us. And that's the same thing that we do for others when we talk about all these wonderful things that we have an availability to, and that we take time to come on this side of the camera and talk to you and to try to touch you and move you. It's an incredible gift. And there's so much good out there. Now, don't get me wrong. You can't have good without bad. There are some people that are just in it for money. There are some people that are out there just to get free games and all that other stuff. But who cares about that stuff? The things that I saw, the things that I took from GenCon were the good things. The positive things, the things that people are doing and how they're touching lives and how they work together for a common goal, to reach out to you, to touch you, to move you, to help you find others that also have that same passion for gaming, modeling, painting, whatever it is. As long as you guys are together as a group, enjoying each other, then all of us feel that we have accomplished something. Whether you're listening to the fantastic podcasts, or watching some great shows, the podcast from the Secret Cabal and Rolling Dice and Taking Names, beautiful people that express themselves and talk to you, and maybe you're driving to work and have the advantage of listening to them and have them tell you about their experiences and them opening up to you and making you feel like you're part of the group, the way they make me feel part of the group. Or a common goal in modeling and painting, or you're a soloist. You can watch Adam with Rolling Solo, and he can reach out to you and show you, look, this is fun to play by yourself, or just watch me and feel that connection. This is a beautiful, beautiful business, and I learned so much this weekend, and I was moved by all these great and wonderful individuals. Each one of them had something to say that touched me very profoundly. And for me, that made my GenCon. And the way they welcomed Tina and I, and whenever we came up and we wanted to talk or express our feelings on things or how we felt for them. One of the best things that I did this weekend was get a picture of two people that inspired me beyond words, and that's Rodney and Tina. They were the first two that I ever saw, and now here I am, almost 4 or 5 years later, and then 3 years later after that, deciding to start my own channel and just build something for charity to help people. I couldn't have helped as many people as I have if it wasn't for the inspiration of these two individuals. The children that we were able to feed, the animal shelters, the mortgages, the pharmaceuticals we've bought, the food, helping people pay bills. All these wonderful things were inspired by cardboard and plastic and two people that just expressed themselves. And if we can do that, and we can reach out and maybe find the next group of people that are going to come out, the next people that are going to come and stand in front of the lens and do something positive to help others, to bring people together, so these conventions grow with good people, then all of us can feel a sense of accomplishment. All of us have done our job, and most of all of us will continue to do this with a fervor and passion unlike and unbreakable, because together we can do so much. Separately, maybe do a little, but together we can do a lot. And that's what I learned from GenCon this year. That's the thing that moved me from GenCon this year. I had a wonderful time. Another year has passed. And now it's time to get back to work and try to reach out and bring more people into our hobby. More people to see the different variances, whether it's painting a figure, or playing a game solo, or teaching someone the rules to something, or just having a simple podcast and talking about one of the greatest hobbies in the world. I hope you enjoyed our coverage. We gave you everything we can. The next thing that we have is just the unboxing of all the stuff that came in. But pretty much this is our GenCon wrap-up. We have a few videos that'll go to Saturday showing you some of the different games, giving you our perspective, Tina and I's perspective on games. I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I hope most of all that you'll keep following us and following all these great people I mentioned. And join us for the Alaboom on Wednesday. Don't forget that. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob, and we will see you soon.